Russian Instagram influencer found in suitcase. Ekaterina Garaglanova, had to slow down when you say that one, 24, was found dead in a hallway in her apartment Friday, July 26, with knife wounds on her body. The police were alerted to this by her parents, who had not heard from her for several days after she announced a trip to the Netherlands. The recent medical school graduate had thousands of followers on a travel blog and over 85,000 followers on Instagram. Her parents called her landlord and asked for access to her apartment after failed attempts to contact Ekaterina. Once they entered the flat, they found the suitcase which contained her body in the hall. Her father called for an ambulance, but it was reported she had a slit throat. Police are not ruling out jealousy as a possible motive. This may be due to a CCTV that captured the ex-boyfriend visiting her flat around the estimated dates of her disappearance. No murder weapon was found at the scene. All right. Confirmed. North Korea fires 2 short-range missiles. Here we go again. What was listed as unidentified projectiles fired Wednesday from North Korea were confirmed as 2 short-range ballistic missiles reminiscent of Russia's Iskander class, a missile capable of carrying a nuclear warhead. This test comes a week after the first, making it 2 official missile tests. The reason North Korea gave was the tests were a solemn warning in response to South Korea's purchase of U.S.-made fighter jets and plans for military drills, which North Korea sees as a rehearsal for an invasion. Don't they always see those as a rehearsal for an invasion, though? They're paranoid as heck. Why wouldn't they? During the lull between tests, Kim Jong-un was seen visiting a newly constructed submarine, a submarine that South Korean military intelligence states has 3 missile launch tubes. This could be a dangerous move on the part of North Korea. If they have obtained the technology to launch ballistic missiles from a submarine, there would be little to no warning prior to a strike. North Korea is already under 11 different sanctions from the United Nations alone, and no more punishments are expected. The results of the 2 launches are as follows. Last Thursday, 2 missiles flew 600 kilometers or 370 miles with an altitude of 50 kilometers or 30 miles. Wednesday's launch, 250 kilometers, 155 miles, with an altitude of 30 kilometers or 19 miles. South Korea's military stated the flight data of the weapons means it could reach all of South Korea and the U.S. forces stationed there, all 28,500 forces. So, yeah. Oh, my God. This, I've said it before, and I will say it again because I think it needs to be said. This is a madman, and you can't reason with a madman. There's no reasoning with them. You can sanction them all you want. They're going to find countries that are sympathetic to them. They're going to find other factions that will get them what they need in order for them to continue doing what they're doing. And all this is going on after Trump has been there and is trying to, continue the talks for denuclearization of North Korea to make sure that, we don't have a nuclear threat from North Korea, but then they go knowing that they're not supposed to be doing any missile tests against the rules that were imposed upon them from the United Nations. They go ahead and do this anyway. Now, things that I have read have gone on to say that the 11 sanctions were only put on them after they launched long-range ballistic missiles, not short-range missiles. So that's why they're not expecting any more sanctions to be put on North Korea, because these are short-range and not long-range. I, however, am going to be surprised if they don't make any kind of move at all to do any kind of sanction or any more types of punishments for North Korea, because they're not supposed to be launching any kind of missiles whatsoever. Hi, Lasaria. So it's, they're going, once again, they're proving to everyone that's paying attention that they don't care about the rules or laws that are placed against them. They're not going to listen. They're going to do whatever they want anyway. It probably doesn't help that despite Trump's overtures, our entire media is going the other direction. Mixed signals sent to a madman can't help. No, it can't. And every time Trump goes over there to have a talk, to do another summit, to do another one of these meetings, they're like, oh, he's all up Kim Jong-un's ass, and he's all just, why don't those two of them get married, and blah, 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 and on and on. Okay, where were you with your critique of this when other presidents tried to contact Kim Jong-un to no avail? This is a part of international relations. This is foreign relations. This is negotiating on a world stage. Trump has made history because he was able to sit down with Kim Jong-un, a president of the United States, sitting down with Kim Jong-un to even open up talks and come up with an initial guideline of how to reach mutual goals. He's also the first United States president to actually step foot in North Korea since all this started. Has there been a president ever to step foot in North Korea before? I don't know. I have no clue. But he's made history with Kim Jong-un on more than one side. But whenever he goes to negotiate, or whenever he gives Kim Jong-un a compliment like, oh, he was very cordial, we got along very well. Oh my God, he's in Kim Jong-un's back pocket. Oh my God, they're holding hands. Oh my God, he's not supposed to do that with a dictator. Oh Jesus, oh my God, he's talking to the enemy. Get your head out of your asses. Since the Korean War. Thank you. Get your collective heads out of your asses and quit giving yourselves free colonoscopies. This is negotiations. This is foreign relations. Every president that has ever been in office has had to manage foreign relations. It's part of the job description. If you can't stand the fact that Trump is doing it because it's Trump, maybe you're the problem. Just maybe. Just maybe. Good grief. All right, let's see here. And the last story. I wish this media would have to use... Yeah, me too, but they're not. As long as he is in office and they don't want him in office, they're going to come up with everything to make him look like the boogeyman, whether he actually is the boogeyman or not. You are reading this correctly, my friends. Let me see if I can scoot this up a little higher. Meds from Canada, Oh, excuse me. Let me try that again. Meds from Canada, a possibility. On Wednesday, the Trump administration stated something about setting up a system that would allow Americans to import cheaper prescription medications from Canada for the first time. The hope is it will offset pushback from federal health authorities and help to stem the public's complaints about the rising prices of life-sustaining medications. If successful, it will fulfill another campaign promise. Alex Azar, the Health and Human Services Secretary, had this to say: "The landscape and the opportunities for safe linkage between drug supply chains has changed. That is part of why, for the first time in HHS's history, we are open to importation. We want to see proposals from states, distributors, and pharmacies that can help accomplish our shared goal of safe prescription drugs at lower prices." Oversight for importations will be performed by the Food and Drug Administration. One part of the administration's proposal lets states, wholesalers, and pharmacists allows states, wholesalers, and pharmacists to get FDA approval for the importation of medications already available in the U.S. Another part would also allow drug makers to apply for approval for reimportation. The only sticking point is the drug industry lobby, because they have to make an appearance, don't they? Pharmaceutical Research and Manufacturers of America, who has had success in the past in blocking similar efforts. Their reasoning is due to patients possibly getting counterfeit or adulterated medications. Mitch the Ripper, Maddie's coffee was so hot it burned her tongue, right? Neil, the national isolation of the supply chain of drugs has allowed drug costs to skyrocket here while some other countries remain low. We also front R&D costs. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I wonder how they will deal with the drug identification. Will all these Canadian drugs get NDCs, National Drug Codes? I don't know. They didn't go into detail in the article. They were just, the preliminary, the loose framework was the only thing that was suggested in the article. So let's see if I can find, let me see, there's my original sources. Let me come down here so I can give you the link and you can read more about it if you're interested. Okay, here we go. This is out of the AP. So here we go. I'm going to put the link to this one in the chat so you guys can possibly look it up later. But yeah, it's a good idea because it seems like, I don't want to ruin it because the space and health section is next. But yeah, the drug prices don't seem to be going down, and this includes everyday maintenance drugs and life-saving drugs. I mean, insulin has skyrocketed, so you have a lot of diabetics with reason bitching about the price of a medication that shouldn't skyrocket because they need it to regulate their blood sugar. And it's caused a lot of diabetics to ration their insulin, which is something they shouldn't need to do.